Right, it's Saturday afternoon and my boy's out at the cinema, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to sit down and record this one for you. And apologies in advance because it is going to be a little bit of a rant because I want to talk about Nintendo's upcoming online service. And I use the term service in its broadest possible sense because, in case you're wondering, I'm not overly impressed with it. Now, just to recap and tell you what the service is going to offer. It's going to have, I think, they say a range of benefits. There's 5 different options that they've got here that we're going to get if we pay the $20 per year or £17.99 per year. And I think it's £6.99 in pounds for 3 months and £3.49 for 1 month. If you look at what they're offering, they're going to offer online play. Okay, well, that's like Microsoft and Sony. They offer online play and you have to pay for it, and you're going to have to pay for that now. So if you want to play online, you're going to have to pay for this. You're going to get some Nintendo Entertainment System games, which you can download from their store, presumably. And you can find more details about that on their site. You've got save data to the cloud. That is, you can back up your games to the cloud. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And you've got a dedicated app for your smartphone or tablet, which is Grap. We already know all about that, and there's videos out there. You can look that up if you like. And then they've got exclusive offers for members, which we don't know what they're going to be. So that could be anything. But as I say, the thing I want to talk about this afternoon is save data to the cloud. And, well, it's interesting because this last week, there's been some information that's come out. Game Informer did a very short article about that, and I'll put a link in which they talk about how some games aren't going to have that facility. You're not going to be able to back them up to the cloud. So even though you're paying this £20 a year, which, you know, the main selling point for is that you can back up your games, because as it stands at the moment, there's no way to back up your save games. So if your Switch gets stolen or lost or damaged in some way where it's irreparable, your save games are gone. Doesn't matter how many hours you've put in. And some of the games that are going to be left out of this service, if you like, are Splatoon 2, the upcoming Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, NBA 2K19, though that's no real loss because, well, I've done a video about that, and you can have a look at the link that I'll put in at the top. FIFA 19, again, whatever you want to say about that. Dead Cells and Dark Souls Remastered. Now, some of these games, well, most of these games are games that you're going to want to have backups of your save games. And in fact, I would go so far as to say that most games you're going to want to have backups of your save games. And never mind this list of games that we've got here, how many other games that are already on the system or are coming in the future won't have online backups? If you think about this, this is a bit of a joke. Microsoft and Sony with the Xbox and the PlayStation, and then Steam on the PC, and Microsoft again on the PC as well, have been offering cloud saves for years. And also, with every single one of those systems, there are other ways to back up your games without resorting to paying for a half-assed online service. Which, let's be honest, it doesn't even work properly. And I refer you back to the smartphone and tablet app that you have to use for voice chat. It's utter nonsense. I mean, you know, let's be honest here. How can you trust an online service that is supposed to back up your software when you don't know what software is going to be backed up? You're going to have to be hands-on all the time. And frankly, it doesn't really matter even if you are hands-on, because those games, Splatoon 2, Pokemon, NBA, FIFA, Dead Cells, Dark Souls and all the others, and we don't know how many there's going to be, those games won't have any way to back them up because the cloud saves won't work and there is no other option. Anyone who's ever lost any data knows that if you can't just rely on the backup service to do the job it was intended to do, frankly, it's worse than useless. As I say, with both Xbox and PlayStation, the online backups are system-wide. And that means that, they work with all games and apps that have saves. You don't have to worry about whether or not the online service will be enabled for a particular game or not. It simply works. It's completely hands-off. As long as you're subscribed to their service, your games are backed up and you simply don't have to worry about it. And if for some reason you are worried about it and you want the peace of mind that you've got your own backup, you can back up your saves to a USB thumb drive and have done with it. And if you've got a regular regime of backing up, you can do it once a week, once a fortnight, whatever. You will have your backups on your USB thumb drive as well, which Nintendo don't offer. So whether you pay for the service or not, some games simply will not be able to be backed up. But according to Nintendo, there's a good reason for this piecemeal approach apparently. It's all to stop people cheating. Here's what they had to say in a statement to Game Informer. The vast majority of Nintendo Switch games will support save data cloud backup. However, in certain games, this feature would make it possible to, for example, regain items that had been traded to other players or revert to a higher online multiplayer ranking that had been lost. To ensure fair play, save data cloud backup may not be enabled for such games. To ensure that save data cloud backups cannot be used to unfairly affect online multiplayer rankings, the feature will not be enabled in Splatoon 2. And here's what I say about it. Bullshit. Both Xbox and PlayStation managed to keep their save game states in order so as to avoid the pitfalls Nintendo are talking about. If these cloud saves are so fragile that you can trick them into reverting you to a higher online ranking or to regain items you've traded, whatever that might mean, then you need to fire the idiots who designed this online service and get people in who know what they're doing. This is utter drivel. I shouldn't have to worry that my Pokemon saves are going to be lost if my Switch is lost or stolen, any more than I should have to worry about my God of War or Halo saves being lost if my PS4 or Xbox are lost or stolen. And let's be honest, given the portable nature of the Switch, there's a much higher chance of it being lost or stolen or even irreparably damaged than either of the two major competitors. Of all the machines I've mentioned, it's actually the one that is in most need of a stable backup system. Christ, even my mobile phone offers robust backups, for crying out loud. Why can't Nintendo manage it? This is not just incompetence though. Nintendo seemingly want to enter the realms of paid online gaming, yet they don't seem to want to spend the time or the money to do it right. This shows yet again a complete disregard for their customers. Anyone would think they have rabid fanboys genuflecting at their every bowel movement. People so utterly enthralled to their rose-tinted nostalgia that they'll put up with any old shit and even defend it. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. But no matter how hard some people might try, this is just not something to be defended. It's utterly indefensible. As I've already said, we've seen it with the voice chat nonsense, and now we're seeing it again with this ill thought out approach to cloud saves. This online service is looking increasingly like a cynical cash grab by a company who don't know what they're doing and don't care, because they see their customer base as a bunch of sheep who will buy anything with the Nintendo branding on it. And as I've already said, some people will lap this up and then defend it to the hilt, parroting Nintendo's tired excuses about fairness in online rankings, etc, etc. And look, they're welcome to carry on. After all, I'm not going to change their minds anytime soon, so why even bother? For the rest of us though, well, I have one thing to say to Nintendo on this. Read between the lines, Nintendo. Read between the lines. But, what do you guys think about this? Are you happy with this online service? Are you happy with this cloud save situation? Because, well, I can't get my head around how a company could think this was something that we would want. I really don't get it. You either provide a service that is robust and does the job, or you don't. As I said earlier, this is half-assed, at best. Oh, I don't know, Nintendo. What are you thinking? If you're thinking at all. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and if you disagree with me, as ever, that's fine, and we can have a chat about it, and we can agree or we can disagree, whatever. And in the meantime, I'm going to go and get myself a cup of tea and wait for my lad to come home. And I'll speak to you guys in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. And please do hit that bell. God, I'm doing this. Everyone seems to do this these days. Do hit the bell though, because it's the only way you will know about my videos. So if you do want to watch them, that's what you're going to have to do, I'm afraid. And sorry to do this, but it's a fact of life. Alright, anyway, I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye.